How's it going, guys? My name is Dave Paleo. I'm a full-time eBay reseller. In this video, we're going to be talking about many mistakes that I will not be repeating in 2025 when it comes to eBay and life in general. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so I have sold 29,000 items on eBay, close to 30 now, and I've made many mistakes along the road, and it's been like 4 years. I'm going into year 5, and I wrote down a couple of mistakes I don't want to be repeating, and I'm going to learn from them, and hopefully it can help someone out that's watching so they don't make the same mistakes that I made. So the first one is the number one most important for me, is that when I start making a bunch of money, I don't want to be inflating my lifestyle. I have always had the capacity to make a lot of money. I've done a lot of money pretty much my whole eBay career. I think $850,000 worth of sales in 4 years is what I've done. In my 20s, in my early 20s is what I did. But I got super excited and I started inflating my lifestyle and spending more money than I should be. Like, I was going and I had a couple of workers and I would go to Starbucks and spend 30, 40 bucks, get sandwiches for everyone, get coffee for everyone. And then I had my little car that was just perfectly fine. And then I went and got a super insane truck because I was like, oh, it's gonna be for a write-off, or I can move more items with it now. It's gonna motivate me to work harder. When in reality, it was just an excuse to get the truck. I didn't really need the truck to run my business, and it really wasn't even that good of a write-off. Spending $40,000 on something, quote unquote, is not good when you only save, avoid $8,000 in taxes, but then you don't have $32,000 that you could have just kept, So it's not worth doing that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna get a bigger spot to live in just because I'm making more money. I am just gonna focus on the bare necessities, what I actually need in my life, and I'm not gonna get something else. My 2005 Toyota Yaris is more than enough to run my eBay operation right now. If I fill it up all the way, that's an insane day of sourcing, and it hasn't happened more than 2 times in the last 5 months, and we're doing just fine. So there's no need for me to go get a big old box van. There's no need for me to get a truck. There's no need for any of that. I don't need new clothing. I don't need jewelry. I don't need some fancy shades. We don't need none of that stuff. Everything is fine. Everything for the business is taken care of. No extra spending is required. And yeah, guys, that's something that's kind of personal, but that's something I'm not going to be doing. I know we're going to start making a lot more money this year than probably ever before. And I'm going to be documenting the whole journey, guys. But the sales are going to be rolling in soon, picking up some great product, and yeah, the sales are going to flow. That's not a question. But now, once I start getting that money and it starts flowing again, and I'm starting to make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, I'm not going to inflate my lifestyle. We're going to keep it the same, and I'm going to show you guys through the journey. It's not easy, but we're going to do it. All right, guys, so the next mistake I'm not going to be committing again in 2025 is that I'm not going to be getting excited and overbuying and oversourcing stuff that doesn't meet my metrics. My metrics right now are for clothing, for jeans, jackets, shirts, and all that stuff. If I spend $5, I'm trying to make $30, and I want it to be like a 50% sell-through rate or something like that. So I'm very picky with that now. And with shoes, I'm trying to spend on average $5 to make $35 as well. And that is it. I can't start picking up lesser quality items or items that are $2 but they go for $20. Like, I'm not picking that stuff up, and I'm being very strict on myself. I'm sourcing way more right now than ever before, but I'm not buying more items than ever before. I am just cherry picking the best possible stuff. For electronics, if I spend $8, I'm trying to make $80. And obviously sometimes I'll spend $20, but I want the same ratio of profit. So I'm very picky right now because I have a lot of sourcing opportunity for me. And one day I'll go to 3-4 different spots. And back then I used to not do that because I would just overbuy in one spot with one vendor, and I would spend a good amount of money and buy a ton of stuff all at once, but maybe like 1/4 of that stuff was the best stuff. Now I just go with the one vendor, buy the best stuff only, the 1/4, go with another vendor, go with another vendor, go with someone else, go to that store, go to this store. And I just cherry pick the best possible stuff that has good sell-through rate, that it gives me an insane profit margin. And I'm being very picky with that. we're finding some very good things recently, electronics, clothing, shoes, and stuff like that. And we're not doing it the same way. I'm going to be making a video explaining exactly how I'm sourcing now, and I think it's the best way to source for me, and it's working already immediately, picking up some great things. And you guys are going to see, it's going to be reflecting on my sales very soon. Like, the way I'm sourcing right now is just, I think it's the way to go for everyone. So I'm going to be making a video on that. If you guys are new, consider subscribing. I drop a lot of knowledge in here all the time. But yeah, guys, the next thing, I'm getting into electronics a little bit again. I actually need to test the stuff. Back then, if you guys are new, I had a 16,000 item electronics store on eBay. All electronics. I posted all those electronics within less than a year. And you know, I had a electronic eBay store for like 3.5 years, but within 1 year we got rolling quick. I didn't test most of the things. Most of the things were not tested and didn't have a good description, and we went way too fast. So a mistake I'm not going to make again with whatever electronics I get. Probably 10% of my store is going to start being, or the new items that I put are going to be electronics. I need to test everything. If it's not something I can easily test, or you know, I don't have the capacity to test, I need to describe that it is not tested fully. I need to be honest with the buyers. And me not being honest with the buyers and just saying everything worked or it didn't work or I don't know, resulted in me getting a lot of negative feedbacks. Most of those negative feedbacks are going to be coming off here soon. I think we went from 130 negative feedbacks for a whole year, which is terrible. Now we're like at 85. And I think in the last 6 months, we've only gotten like 5 negative feedbacks. 5 negative feedbacks for 6 months. You know, if we do the same amount of negative feedbacks, it'd be only 10 in a whole year, gaining about 1,500 positives. We'll be like at 98, 99% positive feedbacks compared to like the 95, 96 I'm at right now. So it's going to be totally different in the next couple of months because we just started this, you know, not that long ago. This whole new wave of clothing, shirts, electronics that I actually test and all that stuff. So it's going to be a lot better. One thing for sure, a mistake I'm not going to make again is that I need to test every single thing that comes through this door that we list so the customer knows exactly what they're getting.
Another mistake I made that I forgot to add here was doing everything solo for too long. Don't get me wrong, you do need to research for good deals online by yourself, but joining a community just gets you that upper hand. You will find flips you'd normally have no idea about, deals from all sorts of specific sub niches. One community I recommend, and also in myself, is Resell Signals. They send daily flips, everything from price errors to hidden clearances in stores. Like they sent this $1,300 shed being sold at select Home Depots for just $225, an easy $1,000 in profit per unit on that deal. I will leave their link in the description. Be sure to check them out.
All right, guys, another thing that I am not doing again. I personally cannot do this. I can't do 1-day shipping. I can't do it. I tried it and I was like, oh, maybe I want to get more sales. And it bit me in the butt really bad. Be considered late even if it was 28 hours. Let's say someone buys it at 11 at night, 11 p.m. By 1 in the morning, once it's past midnight, you have to ship it and it's considered must ship within 24 hours or it's late. So, you know, sometimes it'd be like 30 items. One day I don't ship them within that one day or something like that, or 10 items. And my late shipment rate went really bad because I had 1-day shipping. I wasn't shipping all of them within the day. Some of them, you know, I had 90 items across a 3-month period when I was doing 1-day shipping in a 90-day sample that were considered late by a day. So I'm never doing that again. I'm never doing 1-day shipping again because my percentage got completely destroyed. I don't want to risk it, and I still you know, get the sales that I'm gonna get. You know, if I'm listing quality items, people aren't gonna care if it's 1-day shipping or it's 3-day shipping. If I'm actually listing good items, it's not gonna matter. So I'm not doing 1-day shipping anymore. It messed up my percentage of my late shipment rate because it was considered that 90 of them were late, but they were shipped out an extra day. And obviously it's not good, but you know, it is what it is. So I went below standard because of that. So I barely got back up to top rated. but it went down because of that, because of my late shipment rate. I am not doing 1 day shipping. If you guys want to do 1 day shipping, you guys are more than welcome to. I'm not gonna do that. I'm doing 3 day shipping now. It took me like 3 months to get out of that hole with the late shipment rate. I put it to 3 day shipping, and then I just started shipping every day, just how I was. Maybe one day it's a little day out, it's 1 day after, and it's still, they get it way sooner than the 3 days. So my percentage is like amazing now. I want it at 1.1 or 0% late shipment rate. I'm shipping everything pretty much every day. So like Monday through Friday, we're pretty much shipping and dropping off. So, you know, with 1 day shipping, it makes it a lot harder because 1 day you might slip up. It happens. Some people don't. Some people are 1 day shipping every single time and nothing ever happens to them. But me personally, I'm not doing that. All right, guys, another mistake that I'm not going to be making anymore is that I'm going to be doing my bookkeeping pretty much week to week from here on out. The last 4 years, at the end of the year, pull up everything and then account for everything, right? And sometimes I'll do it like every 6 months, or I'll just wait through the whole year, and you can still get it done, but it's just a lot of work at the end of the year. I made a video back in the day on how to do my taxes. I'm going to do an updated one on how the taxes thing works with eBay. If you start making money and you're spending money here, spending money there, how to account for the profit and loss statement and all that. But next year, it's going to be my goal to just week to week or month to month track everything as it happens, and just when it's the end of the year, hand over the book. Or we might switch it to quarterly paying taxes, because at the end of the year, paying a bunch of money it just doesn't feel right, you know. So if we can do it quarterly or something like that, it's going to be good, and everything ready to go, so we can just hand it over and everything's up to date. So one thing for sure I'm going to start doing is keeping track of my stuff as the time goes by. And I haven't been the best at that. You know, everything's been accounted for, but it is a headache at the end of the year. So that's one thing I'm going to be doing better. And yeah, guys, this is just kind of a bonus that I just thought of right now when I was already going to be done with the video. But one thing I am going to not be doing anymore is just saying yes when a deal is in front of me. If the deal doesn't serve me to my standards, I'm not doing a deal. I find insane, amazing items all the time. I see people that post videos of like them finding really good items, and they get really excited and they overpay for the stuff. If it doesn't meet my margins, I don't buy it. I'm not gonna do it. So back then I would get really excited because I would always find really good items. Sometimes I would overpay. It's not in the profit margin that I want to stick to, so it wouldn't be a good deal. I'm only doing good deals. I'm only doing something that works for me and them. It's not like I lowball people, but let's say if something is $100 and it sells pretty quickly, I'm not gonna spend $60 just because it's there in front of me. I'm not gonna do it. I want to spend $40 maximum if it's gonna sell within a week. If it doesn't sell within a week, I'm only paying $30. And you know why I'm doing that? Because I have an abundance of things that I can invest my money to. So just because a deal is in front of me, I'm not gonna jump the gun to it. I'm gonna be super disciplined with that, and I'm not gonna shake for nothing. Today there was an opportunity where there was 300 pairs of shoes to buy, all of them $40, but the guy wanted $10 each. And honestly, the math does make sense, but I know I can just not buy those, and I know I'm gonna get the ones for $5 that make me the 40 as well, and I'll get 300 of those. So just because it's in front of me, it was right there. They're all good. They're all like shiny toys to me because I know I've made money on all those. I just can't do it because I need to stay within my profit margin. I need to stick within my profit margin, and that is it. I'm not batting an eye for nothing. If it doesn't fit, I'm not getting it because I know there's gonna be more deals. There's always more deals to be made. If something is in front of me and is a great item, it has to be for a great price, or else I'm not getting it. A lot of people would just get excited because they find a Carhartt jacket or something. If it's $90 and it goes for 120, I'm not gonna get it. Like, I'm not gonna do it. And it's a great item. It's gonna sell somewhat quick, but it needs to be for a great price, or else we're not doing a deal, and it's not a deal for me. I find insane items every single day I go sourcing, but not all of them go home with me because they're not at the price that I want, that I demand for my business. So you guys got to know your profit margin goals. I like to pay $20 for something and get 100. And if it's not fitting that kind of profit margin, whether it's 5 to 40, I'm not doing it. And that's it. Point blank, period. And back then I was not good about that. Sometimes I'd get a little too excited. And then sometimes the item wasn't even what you thought it was, and then you overpaid, and then boom, you're stuck with it, and then you just got to sell it, and you barely make your money back. It's just a little rabbit hole I am trying to avoid, and if it's not, like, if it doesn't serve me, not doing it. So yeah, guys, hopefully this video helps someone out. The mistakes I'm not going to be making in 2025 for eBay. And yeah, guys, drop a thumbs up, drop 3 eagle emojis if you guys want to get better on eBay. Haven't said that in a while. But yeah, guys, it's going to be 2025. No more messing around. Watch these videos right here to be better on eBay and learn more. And we can all get better, guys. My name is Dave Paleo. I'm a full-time eBay reseller, full-time YouTuber. I'm going to catch you guys later.